but where you also have that time that's just for you, like figure it out, find it because everybody needs it. I don't care who you are, like you need time just for yourself. And then also time with your team, and by that I mean your smaller team, kind of your more executive leadership team, whatever that looks like, where you're able to give them focus.
What would you say to an owner who feels like their business is running them, not the other way around?
Yeah, well, been there, done that, have the t-shirt, as they say. I think you got to stop. You got to kind of really take a moment to assess, and find out what is making you feel that way. It's hard because, or I should say, it's easier said than done because when you're in it and your business is running, you feel like you have no time to stop. And I think that is the danger of being in a successful environment is that there's kind of this flywheel that you feel like you have to keep spinning and um you know you got to keep the lights on, right? Like I get it. But at the same time, like you have to find a way to peel yourself away from the to strip yourself away from the business to give you the space to really assess. And I think that's where a lot of people kind of fall down is that they don't take that time and take that deliberate space to really kind of assess what's working, what isn't, why is it working, and how do we repeat it if it is working, and if it's not working, what's broken and how do we fix it, right? I think that that is super critical, and if that means like you have to schedule yourself literally like a 2-hour block throughout the week just to have a strategic session with like your GM and your chef de cuisine, like that is time that is so well spent. And I think people often like manager meetings get blown off or this thing gets, bumped to the next week or whatever. And then the next thing you know, you're just losing traction. So I think like really being deliberate about the time that you spend with your team and making sure that the folks that are coming to those meetings are prepared and have things to say and can contribute and still work kind of asynchronously outside of the restaurant on whatever needs perfecting, like that is certainly like an ideal, but should be like a realistic goal to try and achieve.
Because if you're meeting and talking about those things that are working really well or not working, and you can actually analyze the numbers, then you can manage from a proactive place instead of a reactive place.
100%,
Okay.
100%. And you're going to do stuff that, you're going to do stuff that like doesn't make sense. Like we as I'll give you an example. We used to do an event at one of our restaurants called Summerlicious, and it was our kind of our way to activate our patio in a quieter time of year in Boston in the summer, right? When we were in the business district, so like a lot of the folks were gone for the summer. And we're like, well, let's start just doing something. So we did this thing called Summerlicious on the patio, and we would like roast a whole pig. We'd have cheeses and charcuterie, and we'd move a mobile bar out there, and like the whole thing. And we'd staff it, and people would wear leis, and we'd play like Hawaiian music, whatever it was. Like it was just silly and ridiculous and fun. It was brutal. Like it was not a moneymaker. Like we bled out on it, but like people loved it, right? And we constantly that was like a topic of conversation constantly in our manager meetings was kind of like, are we doing Summerlicious again? Like, are we going to do this thing? Because it's a lost leader, right? But at the same time, it was also giving back so much to our guests and to our community, and was just a really fun thing for the staff too, which I thought was really important. So we kept on it, right? But I think you have to take those moments to really assess and like decide if certain initiatives that you're choosing to do are of value, and if not, kind of why are you doing them, right? And that can be hard too because it's also owners and operators have these ideas. The most hyper creative of all of us like have the ideas of things that they want to bring to life, and like that's a beauty of this business is that you get to do that ultimately when you own your own place. um but I think it's really good to just you know, always assess those things, even if it means that something that is near and dear to your heart has to go away. Um, you know, you've got to create that opportunity to always kind of reflect on the work you're doing.
Would you ever suggest that a restaurant owner operator close for a week or a period of time to recalibrate if they really feel like they're sort of at their max, they're stressed, they're not quite sure what's working or what's not working, they need to reevaluate, um, they wanna get everybody back on the same page. Does that ever would that ever be a suggestion that you might give?
Yeah, sure. I mean, if you can afford to do it, I think a lot of this business gets caught up in the day to day of needing the cash to be able to operate, right? So it's not a reality for many people. But I think if you're in a financially strong position and you have the ability to kind of maybe take a break before whatever the next big thing is, or the next season or whatever, like, absolutely, like,
Maybe that's a silly
that's a
question
luxury
though, because
though,
that's because if you have enough cash that you can take a week off, then you likely don't feel like your business is running you, right? You're probably not in crisis and you don't need the week off. I don't know, maybe,
Yeah, I mean, that's why I'm a big advocate of, like, getting really like, really structuring your time as an owner and really finding a way to create a strategy for yourself that allows you to be in it when you wanna be in it, and with the team and working side by side and doing the things and operationalizing the vision, right? But where you also have that time that's, A, just for you, like, figure it out, find it, because everybody needs it. I don't care who you are, like, you need time just for yourself. And then also time with your team, and by that I mean your smaller team, kind of your more executive leadership team, whatever that looks like, where you're able to give them focus, right? Because that's what they want, right? They want your focus, they want your attention, they want the ability to communicate with you and talk about what's coming next and things they're excited about. And I think when you don't create those opportunities, then you're just like, you're literally, your head's on a swivel constantly, right? Is it
Mhm.
is a lot in this business, but even more so when you just don't create that time, because then you're just like, yep, heard you, got it, no, I know, I'll get with you, just give me another week, I swear I'll be, and it's like, nobody wants to live in that world.
Mhm. Yeah, so it's more sustainable to say carve out 2 hours a week than it is to say, close for a week and get everything
Yeah, I think so.
back.
And
Yeah.
also, like, restaurants, like, it's hard to, like, closing for a week is a massive undertaking, right? Like, you gotta there's gotta be a whole wind down plan. It's, you got product that's sitting in the walk. I mean, it's like, it's a big thing, so there's a lot of moving parts there to consider. Um, but, I know operators that do it. I know operators that take that time, and maybe it's like their slowest time of year, and they've decided that the value for them is that their employees get to rest or go do whatever they wanna do for a week, take a vacation or see family or spend time with their kids or whatever, and that can be completely recharging and rejuvenating for the folks that are on the floor. So it has its benefits for sure, but it's hard to think about a world where everybody can do that.